This is Super Yacht News in association with Go Earth Boating, navigating boat buyers to better deals. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. This was the scene in a fishing port in Croatia earlier this week. The vessel, a 14-meter luxury tender, crashed onto the hard, apparently at full speed, according to eyewitnesses. The vessel apparently hit the coast, like I said, at full speed in Matajuska, and completely ran out of the sea onto the hard there. A local TV station reported that eyewitnesses had said that the pilot or the operator had fallen asleep at the helm, which resulted in that accident that you see. Apparently caused a lot of panic in the area due to the noise when it actually grounded. The vessel is actually a Cranchi luxury tender, A46 model, we believe, made in Italy, 14 meters, 45 feet, and it's actually got accommodation for 4 people, so it's a fairly big vessel for a tender. All right, we'll move on. The motor yacht Boardwalk has been put up for sale. Tilman Fertitta's yacht, he's put that vessel up for sale. It's a 77 meter or 250 foot yacht in length with 1,800 gross tons, thereabouts, just over like 1,865, I think it is. Has room for an Airbus H3130 helicopter on the stern there. Now, why is he selling the vessel? Because they've got a bigger one on order. He's got a 116 meter replacement under construction at Lursen. This is according to one of our sources, and this should be ready to launch before the end of the year. So that's why it's up for sale. All right, we'll move on. The 120 meter full custom Amels super yacht Project Tanzanite has been launched from the Damen yachting facility in Vlissingen in the Netherlands. This is now the largest yacht in the fleet. Project Tanzanite began construction in 2020. It was actually called Project Signature at the time, and there was a reason for it changing, and was seen for the first time in June 2023 when the vessel was transported from Romania, where it was constructed initially, to the Damen facility in Vlissingen. Now, we covered that at the time in 2023, and we said that they didn't make a big song and dance about it because the company, because the person who ordered the vessel is Russian, and the company that was managing the construction was Imperial Yachts. So we talked about that and the fact that it was kept fairly quiet, you know. This is the reason why that woman at the Monaco Yacht Show last year was upset with me, even though she said it was another reason. This is the main reason why. Now, this yacht, like I said, formerly Project Signature, and construction was managed, like I said, by Imperial Yachts. They were sanctioned by the US government, and as well as the CEO of that company, who's a Russian named Yevgeny Kokman. Now, the company was later liquidated, and the former employers formed 3 new companies and amazingly managed to secure what seems to be all of the contracts from Imperial Yachts. Don't know how that happened. Anyway, Amels, Damen were, of course, happy to continue working with them, even though they said in a press statement that they supported the sanctions because of the invasion of Ukraine. In actual fact, the company, Damen Amels, is under investigation by the Dutch government over allegedly ignoring sanctions as well as fraud. This is from a Dutch newspaper. Dutch authorities in April initiated criminal proceedings against the shipbuilder Damen Shipyards for allegedly violating Russian sanctions established after the invasion of Ukraine. Damen Shipyards is under investigation for corruption, forgery, and money laundering, as well as for breaking sanctions tied to the Russia-Ukraine conflict, according to a public prosecutor's statement. But they're still building that yacht anyway. So anyway, we'll move on. Feadship has officially joined the Nuclear Energy Maritime Organization, or NEMO, as it's known. Now, this is an interesting one. This is something I've said in a number of videos in the past, that I don't think yachts will ever be built with nuclear reactors. I will still stand by that statement. This is sort of an exploratory thing for Feadship to do. Now, the statement they've released says that they've officially joined the NEMO, a collective dedicated to advancing fair and effective regulations for the deployment, operation, and decommissioning of floating nuclear power. This step builds on Feadship's energy transition roadmap launched in 2020, which defines the shipyard's pioneering path towards carbon-neutral yachting. And then they go on to say, with fourth-generation nuclear reactors now approaching maturity, floating nuclear power is gaining attention across the maritime sector. Potential applications from the mid-2030s include offshore power barges and for synthetic fuel production and zero-emission propulsion for the world's largest vessels. For Feadship, maintaining an open perspective on such transformative technologies is essential for future-proofing of superyachts. So they're basically saying that they're going to look into it and decide whether they're going to use it. Now, this is the bit that I kind of find this kind of funny. While economic and crew-related challenges remain considerable, the absence of clear regulation remains the primary barrier to adoption. Issues such as radiation dose limits, operational freedom in sensitive ecological zones, and access to densely populated harbours must be addressed before nuclear systems can realistically play a role in yachting. So finding crew to crew that vessel would be interesting. Now, I can only imagine your, radiation dose limits. So they will probably put something into your Siemens book that says, how much dosage have you had from nuclear radiation this year? You can't work any longer. You have to go home because you've had your maximum dose of radiation. That's not something that I would ever be interested in doing. So yeah, we'll see how they get on with that. But like I said, they're not even talking about it until 2030s or 2030s. And also they could possibly be using it for the production of synthetic fuels, which is, I think that's more realistic direction. So they use the nuclear power, create synthetic fuels, and then fuel the vessels with that synthetic power. I think that's probably more realistic. I don't think there'll ever be yachts with nuclear reactors in. Okay, if you disagree with that, hit the comments, let me know. Anyway, guys, it's Friday. That means it's time for a Friday hotspot, Friday yacht spots even. First vessel we've got, we did this one last time actually, but this is another piece of video. Motor Yacht Hampshire in New York City, out there by the that tall statue there that they have there. That I don't remember what it's called, but it's French, I believe. But seriously, by the Statue of Liberty there. The next vessel, that's from Monaco Yachting, by the way. The next vessel on the list, this is Motor Yacht Shinkai. Now, this is not Dubai, as you might think it looks like at night there. This is actually Portsmouth in the UK, sent in by Ian Cooper. This is a 55-metre yacht, top speed 14.5 knots, gross tonnage of just under 1,000, and it's built by Feadship in 2021. Now, I've got some more footage here by somebody else. This was in Gunwharf's Quay over the bank holiday. I don't actually have a name for that person, which is weird. I thought I did, but I don't. If that's your footage, let me know, and I'll be sure to credit you in a future video. We'll move on now. We've got another yacht, a Motor Yacht Man of Steel. This is in Portland. This is sent in by David Hempel. This was formerly Seven Seas, owned by Steven Spielberg. This was in Genoa in Amico shipyard when I was there. It was there for quite a while actually. It actually did a refit period there, and then it handed over to the new owner. And Steven kept all of his crew, and they all transferred to the new build, which was just finished in construction in the Netherlands. And then they got a completely new crew on that vessel to take it out and for the name to change. I think the captain stayed behind just to take it out and then hand it over to the new captain. But yeah, Steven Spielberg, legend, took his whole crew over to the new vessel. As far as I know, it was the whole crew. It's an 86-metre yacht. It's worth about $150 million. 86 metres, 280 feet. Built in 2010 by Ocean Co. 2,600 gross tons and a value of, I think I said that already, 150 million. Next on the list, Motor Yacht Luminance. This is off the coast of Sardinia. This is sent in by David Hempel as well. Value of this vessel is about $500 million. This is owned by Ukrainian Rinat Akhmetov. He's one of the richest men in Ukraine. He was before the war, just to curb any comments. 145-metre yacht of 476 feet, built by Lurson, of course. It looks very similar to Crescent and Scheherazade, doesn't it? And so built in 2024. He actually said at the time he was going to sell that yacht. This is because, Ukraine thing. But as far as I know, he's still the owner. So it looks like he didn't bother, or he wasn't able to sell it. Last on the list today, we've got Motor Yacht Project X. This was captured on August in Zakynthos in Greece. This is sent in by SV Double Star. This is a sailing vessel. I actually bumped into them in San Remo last year. And this is, anyway, Project X is an 87 metre or 288 foot super yacht with 3,000 gross tons, worth about $150 million. And the owner is Benny Steinmetz. Now, you might remember a couple of years ago, I think it was 2023, he was arrested because of a warrant issued in Romania. And he was held, I don't remember where he was held now, but he was held somewhere. And eventually they let him go because they said that the warrant was a bit dodgy. So yeah, you might remember that story. If I can find the link, I will post a link in the corner so you can watch it if you're interested. The reason why he was arrested was because he was the court actually sentenced him to 5 years in prison in his absence for conspiring with the grandson of the former king and others to corruptly obtain former royal lands worth over $100 million. All right, guys, that's all I've got for you today. It is Friday, so I hope you have a great weekend, no matter what you're doing. Even if you're working on a yacht, still having a great weekend, even if you're still working, that is. Be sure to send any videos or photos to the link in the description there. And if you've got any information for us, be sure to add that there too. If you want to join us on as a member, you can do that either by going to patreon.com/eSysman, which is the link in the description. You can also find a link to YouTube memberships, or just go to the homepage of our YouTube channel, and you can sign up there. We've got quite a few people signed up now. We just posted a video the other day from a sailing ship from Peruvian's Navy, which arrived in the northwest of the UK. So go and check that out. Patreon.com/eSysman or YouTube members. All right, guys, thanks very much for watching. Hope you have a great weekend, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.